All right, if I can have everyone's attention again in here, we welcome Jimmie Johnson, driver of the number 48 Lowe's Chevrolet, currently fourth in points with 2 wins so far this season. Jimmie, talk a little bit about going into the second half and being at New Hampshire this weekend.
Yeah, we've been I've been real happy with the speed in our race cars. I can't sort things out on the plate tracks for whatever reason, but all of the other racetracks, we've been very competitive, and even on days where we're off, we're still competing for top fives, top threes. So very proud of the team, and this weekend's important with us being a chase track later in the year. And the race here has unfolded some different ways in recent time, and more so probably in a fuel mileage capacity. So definitely want to have speed in the car, but my driving habits usually consume more fuel than others, and I'm going to consciously work on that through practice and through the race to make sure that I can put our team in the right situation fuel-wise towards the end of the race.
Okay, we'll take questions for Jimmie. Please raise your hand. We'll get a wireless mic to you. We'll start over to the right here with Mike.
Hey, Jimmie, just wanted to ask you a little bit, how did you feel come Sunday morning after you towed the line for that sprint triathlon, having taken that hard hit that you did at Daytona? Can you kind of take us through that? And how did you finish?
I finished well. I finished 46th overall, 7th in my age group. Missed my goal by a couple minutes. I struggled on the run, which is usually one of my strong suits, but the elevated heart rate, I think, through the swim and the bike, and then once I got on the run, I started to cramp, and unfortunately stopped a couple times and had a pretty poor run time, which affected my overall. But it was such an awesome experience, and the training for it, the event itself, I mean, I had butterflies like I was getting ready to start a cup race or something, and that cut into my sleep from the little bit of sleep that we had following the Daytona race going into that. So all in all, an amazing experience, and very proud of everybody that jumped on board. I think we had a group of like 20 guys that attended, including a lot of my over-the-wall guys. So and they literally pulled up in the parking lot 30 minutes prior to the start. They flew home, jumped in a motorhome, and tried to sleep in the back of a motorhome on the way down to Charleston. So just a really cool thing all around, and look forward to doing more in the future. But from the incident, I don't think I slept or sat still long enough for any pain to set in, and the pain that I had was relative to the triathlon and not the crash. So I think I worked out all the kinks out there in Charleston.
What was your overall time and the best time for the run?
I did a 1:11:57, and my run time, I think, was at just under 24 minutes. So 8-minute miles in a 5K is no good. I should have been down around the 7-minute mile marks, normally where I'm at. But my swim time I was very happy with, and my bike time was near the top of my age category. But when I got to the run, I had some problems.
Did you get bragging rights? Did you get bragging rights like you had hoped to get amongst the group that you guys went with?
I didn't beat Casey. Casey got me by like 20 seconds, so that's the one I lost bragging rights to. He had an amazing run. His swim and bike time was strong, but his run is where it was at. But I did beat everybody else, and believe me, I've been wearing them all out over it.
Okay, we'll take our next question from Ryan here. Did you not have a question? Nope. Okay. David over here. David Newton's next.
Yeah, Jimmie, David Newton, ESPN.com. I have 2 questions. The first, what was your reaction to the whole AJ thing when you heard it? I mean, did you reserve judgment? Did you jump to judgment? What did you think?
Certainly shocked to see that, and especially the way it unfolded so late in the day on Saturday prior to the start of the race. But I've reserved judgment. I haven't spoken to anyone. I'm not sure I would even get any answers if I talked to anyone, but I'm reading the articles and watching it unfold really through all of your hands out here, and just don't know where the truth is and what's really going on, but in time we'll all find out.
This is actually part B of the first question. Did you take supplements, and have you checked those or double checked those since this happened?
I haven't double checked them, but I did check my supplements prior to taking them. I've just followed the protocol that's laid out in the rule book, and I've talked to Dr. Black myself, and the staff that's involved from a supplement side, then also on the medical side with NASCAR, which is a different group on my prescription things that I take for allergies and all that kind of stuff. So I've just followed the protocol, and everything's been fine.
The other question was Jeff Gordon. I mean,
You said you had 2 questions.
well, I know I
have
said
three.
I had tried added a B to that first one.
Okay.
Sorry. Whatever. Jeff Gordon, the way he's handled the diversity of being where he is in points and everything, and keeping his team pumped up for all that. Is there anything about him that's different than a lot of other guys that wouldn't be able to do that? 'Cause I was talking to Alan, and he said that, a lot of drivers, they'd start pointing fingers and putting the blame, and then the team could go downhill. So what about Jeff allows him to do that?
Man, I don't know what it is, but I have to say I sit back and admire the way he carries himself on and off the track, the way he leads his team, the way he leads, all of us at Hendrick Motorsports. The position he's been in has been tough, and he's handled it, really, really well. And again, I look at him and I feel like it's probably weighing on him, but I feel it'd be much more visible on my face than it is on his. So when I see him in team meetings and I see him around, his positive outlook, the confidence he has in himself and his team, I sit there and admire that. He's handling it as well as anybody could. I know he's eager to get out of this situation, so hopefully that happens soon. Yep, that's it. Okay.
You sure you're done,
No
David?
B to the 3.
Okay. Next question. All right. Next is Bob, then Jim Utter, then Lewis.
Bob Pocker, Sporting News. Were you surprised about, you talked a little bit about how everything kind of came down Saturday. Were you surprised that NASCAR would pull somebody out of a car just a few hours before the race? And have you ever had your A sample questioned and then had to say, hey, no, I'm taking this, and then it was just kind of over, that they took your explanation and said, okay?
No, I've never had a sample questioned. Again, prior to taking any supplements, I worked out the list that I wanted to take, submitted it. 4 or 5 days later, heard back that everything was approved. It's just stuff you'd buy at GNC anyway, so I don't think there's a ton of concern there to start. But the medical side, again, each year at the start of the year when we get our physicals, make sure I lay out anything. And then I think I've had some prescription changes mid-season, and make sure that I file those as well. And that's been it. I'm not all that familiar with the process. I learned a lot through how things unfolded. I didn't know that it took. Initially, I thought the issue was from the Daytona weekend. I didn't realize that it was Kentucky, and it took that long to get the results back. So, I've just been trying to get up to speed on the whole process myself. And I guess when you're not in question, you go about your day and don't worry about it. But we're all paying attention a lot now and wondering.
Okay, next question we'll take from Jim.
Jim Utter, Show Observer. Jimmy, when a lot of people talk about you winning 5 straight championships, many people say that's probably something we might never see again. In 2000, in the fall race here, Jeff Burton led every single lap of the race. I think before that it was 22 years before somebody had done that. Nobody's done it since. Given the way the racing is done this year with people wanting to stay out for points and all that kind of stuff, you think it's possible we'll ever see someone lead all the laps of a race again?
It is possible. I mean, it's there. I mean, I remember watching that, and I remember watching Earnhardt trying to get a lap back or something with Burton. And Burton knew he wanted to keep him down because Earnhardt was strong. So, anything is possible. When you look at the 3 straight that Cale had, and people thought that it wasn't possible to break that, and went from 70, mid to late 70s all the way to 2010 when it we had our 5 in a row. So it is possible, long story short. I think it gets more difficult as time goes on, but it is possible. And I want to believe those things are possible because I'd love to win 7 championships. So I still have a carrot out there in front of myself.
Okay, we'll take our next question from Lewis, then go back to Ryan.
It's Lewis Frank Reuters. Speaking of wins and championships, last year 1 point made a difference. When you speak to there's no question you go out to win every race, but when you speak to Chad, you got this points possibility coming up, bonus points possibilities. Do you talk about Hail Mary plays in these last 7 or 8 races going into the chase, or just business as usual?
It really just depends on the circumstances. You can build a lot of momentum within the team, finishing top 3, top 5. We in the past have just thrown things out the window and started testing and developing stuff. And I think '05 maybe it was, and it backfired on us because we had a nice healthy lead and felt comfortable to transfer in. So at the end of the day, for us, I want the pressure of winning races on our guys. If we do have a chance at the Hail Mary, we'll take it, but to run top 3, race for the win, have the pressure on the driver, have the pressure on the crew chief and the calls that he makes that really apply to the chase, not the Hail Mary thing. The pressure on the crew guys. You know, when you get into the chase, all the pressure you'd felt for an individual race win, it magnifies so much in those 10 races because it's everything you've ever wanted. You know, the championship's what we're all here for. So our strategy has been more along those lines. There was one year we kind of ventured out and it backfired on us pretty bad.
Okay, we'll take our next question from Ryan.
Ryan McGee, ESPN. We talked to Casey just a few minutes ago about the triathlon. He's very proud of himself, just so you know, that he beat you by, he said 27 seconds.
20-something, so.
Yeah. We asked him this question, we'll ask you too. Anybody else out here that you're going to recruit to drag out there and try to beat in a triathlon anytime soon?
Man, I had such a good experience. I would like for anyone and everyone to come do it. And there's, you know, I saw a variety of fitness levels. I was on my bike portion, and I saw a lady coming out of the transition station on a beach cruiser. And I thought, man, she's going to ride 12 miles on a beach cruiser? Powder blue beach cruiser. The only thing she was missing was a basket on the front. So I was like, wow. You know, it's just such a cool accomplishment to train for one, to complete one, and hang out after. And the camaraderie amongst all of the competitors is really cool. I wish we had more. I wish there were more during the week. I know there's some different mountain bike leagues and things that take place on Wednesday evenings in our area at home. But I hope to encourage someone to start a summer tri-series in our area on Wednesday nights or something would be the way to do it. And I think we'd get a lot of people out. A lot of drivers have been interested and and asked a lot of questions as the process was going on. And our crew members today are so fit that I think a lot of people would want to do it if they could find the time.
Okay, final 2 questions, Nate and Mike.
Nate Ryan, USA Today. Jimmie, in the past 8 seasons of the Chase era, in 4 of those seasons, the champion has won one of the 2 races at New Hampshire, including Tony last year and you in 2010. Is there anything about this track that makes it maybe a barometer for who the strongest driver of the year is?
It is a tough track. I mean, there's no doubt about that. What we do here in the type of race, setup and track, doesn't really apply to anywhere else, though. So maybe it falls into that Indy category. I know there's a cool stat about people that win at Indy, it carries on. And I just think it's a tough track. It falls in that category.
Go ahead, Mike.
Hey, Jimmie, just following up, kind of an offbeat question on your run there in the triathlon. Did you have anyone side drafting you?
No drafting. You couldn't draft on the bike. And then in the swim, it's amazing how people will try to find a way by you. And I had a guy grabbing my leg and pulling me back during my swim. And I'm like, dude, what's going on? There's no marshals or anything to see. And you do accelerate and get by that guy pretty quick. So I didn't pull on anyone's leg myself, but it caught me off guard. I wasn't ready for that one. Not in the middle. When I put my shoes on and left the transition station, I went a couple hundred yards and my calves started to cramp up, and there was a curb. And I went to the curb and was stretching my calves real quick. And a guy in a 24 hat, him running up with a Bud Light, and said, hey, this'll help. I'm like, no, not yet, man. I got 3 miles and I'll be back, and then I'll take you up on that. So that got me laughing pretty good. And then he did find me after the event, so I was thankful to see him then.
Jimmie, thank you very much for your time, and congratulations on your triathlon, and good luck this weekend.